take a look at this last example. This last example says, in a study, researchers treated 570 people who smoke with either nicotine gum or nicotine patch. Among those treated with nicotine gum, 191 continued to smoke and the other 59 stopped smoking. Among those treated with a nicotine patch, 263 continued to smoke and the other 57 stopped. Use the following qualitative data. Why is this qualitative, first of all? Well, it's qualitative because it's descriptive data. They may have counted it up, but it's still descriptive. It's, did they have a gum or the patch? And then after you gave them the gum or the patch, did they continue to smoke or did they stop? So the data is descriptive. But what they want us to do is come up with a relative frequency distribution. So the first thing I need to do is list out what are my options. So the first thing is that they could have had a patch and they kept smoking. Okay. Or they could have had the patch and stopped. Or what was the other option? They could have had the gum and continued to smoke. Or they could have had the gum and stopped. These are options or our classes. Notice our classes look different. This is the first time they're not numbers. Why are they not numbers? It's because they were qualitative data. They gave us a hint. So before I can really even do the relative frequencies, I need to come up with the regular frequencies first. So how many people fit into this first category? Use the patch but continue to smoke. Well, use the patch but continue to smoke. That was 263 people. And let's see how many was the next group. Use the patch but stop smoking entirely. And that was 57. Continuing along, let's take a look. Let's see how many used the gum and continued to smoke as our next group or next class. Well, that would be continue to smoke with the gum is 191. And last group is use the gum, but they stopped smoking. That's our last class. And that was the other 59 from that group. And what should all of these add up to, just to double check the total? It should add up to our original total, which was, let's see, it was 570. And if you do add these up, you will notice that it does add up to the total 570. So that's good. You didn't miss anything. You didn't forget anything. Now, to find the actual, that's not what they wanted. We did a frequency distribution. We still need to find, what did they ask for? A relative frequency distribution is what they wanted. So I'm almost there. I need to write out my relative frequencies, which means to find these as percentages. So in this first one, I'm going to be taking the 263 divided by the 570 and figuring out what that is as a percentage. Well, I get 0.461, so that'd be 46.1%. That's my relative frequency. The next one, I take my 57 divided by the total, the 570, and that's going to get me an even 0.1, which is an even 10%. Next one, I should be taking my 191 divided by my 570, which gets me a 0.335, which will be 33.5%. And last but not least, I'd be taking my 59 and dividing by the 570, which is 10.4 or 0.104, and that'll turn into 10.4%. Again, what should all of my percentages add up to about? They should add up to about 100%, and that means you didn't make any miscalculations. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be really close to 100%.